2 weeks after Russia's invasion of Ukraine, it appears that the Kremlin has lost the propaganda battle. That call is likely premature at best, but it is evident that the Russian government's efforts to persuade its own public that Ukraine is the aggressor and that the Kremlin is justified in bombing a sovereign nation are becoming desperate. The Kremlin's latest assertion, for example, is that the US has trained an army of migratory birds to carry bioweapons manufactured by the Ukrainian army and that these birds are prepared to fly into Russia and launch those bioweapons. The statement was not spread by a conspiracy theory added zealot on some fringe message board. It was bolstered by Major General Igor Konashenkov, the Russian Federation Ministry of Defense main spokesman, who talked on camera Thursday about this ridiculous and utterly fictitious conspiracy. It's pointless to indulge in this fantasy, but for the record, birds cannot be trained to attack targets in Russia or any place else with bioweapons. Pigeons were famously utilized for communication in both world wars, and there was also Project Pigeons, a United States Army experiment in which pigeons were trained to sit inside missiles in an attempt to guide the weapon to their objectives. It was never successful. Konashenkov sought to back up his erroneous notion by releasing a cache of documents he claimed demonstrated the US was collaborating with Ukraine to develop bioweapons, a claim that has been thoroughly refuted. The purpose of this and other Pentagon-funded biological research in Ukraine was to establish a mechanism for the stealthy spread of deadly pathogens, Konashenkov said in a televised briefing, the Moscow Times reported. He alleged that the United States was investigating the use of birds, bats, and reptiles as vectors for the spread of fatal diseases such as anthrax and African swine fever. The latest irrational notion is just an extension of the Kremlin's overarching lie that Russia is waging the war to prevent the Ukrainian government from developing nuclear weapons or bioweapons, despite the fact that there is no evidence that the Ukrainians are doing so. Konashenkov has been spreading these theories for several days. He claimed earlier this week, without providing evidence, that Ukrainian nationalists shipped roughly 80 tons of ammonia to a place near Kharkiv as part of a false flag effort to blame Russia for a chemical attack. News Desk, Kaumudi Global.